Hello and welcome to Baby Steps in Create Studio 3, part 37, the Spotlight. I'm Tony at Tony's Tutorials and we're on version 3.4.3 of Create Studio 3. Let's go over to a new project tab, either one of these will do. So left click on that one with the mouse button and there's Canvas, below is the timeline here and to the right is the settings and resolution and to the left you've got the studio being shown at the moment because the studio rocket there is in white and all the rest are greyed out. Right, now we're going to go to the backgrounds, which I've just covered with the cursor, and when you put your cursor on it there's a blue rounded rectangle comes up on each particular one, like so. Right, so let's go on to the background and left click with the mouse button, and we're going to go to the scroll bar, left click and hold, drag down with the mouse and you'll come to where it says stage. There's stage there. Left click on it and drag it onto the canvas area and release the left mouse button. Right. If you can see, some of these have got this icon here, which is the download icon. All you need to do, if you want to download that particular image, you just click on that download icon and it'll automatically download it. So now I've got that downloaded. Right, just in case you wanted to know. Okay, anyway, right, now we've got that on, what we want to do now is drag that onto about 15, so we've only got 10 on there. So what I'm going to do is go to the left scroll bar here, which has got the little circle on it, and I'm going to drag that to the left until I find 16 maybe. There's 16, yeah. And what I need to do now is get the element here. This is the element, which means that image is on the screen. That's the element for it, right? So what I need to do is go to the right hand edge of that element, and as you can see my cursor changes to the two arrows facing opposite directions to each other. When that happens, you left click on it and hold the left mouse button and drag across with the mouse. Okay, and then you release it when you get to the point you want, which is where I've said there, 16. Okay, next we're going to go off the backgrounds by going over to the left side where the little left arrow is up there in a little button shape there. So we're just going to left click on that with the mouse button and we're going to go down to where it says 3D creators on the studio there. So we click on that and we find Bella at the top, so we're going to left click on her and drag her onto the canvas area and just release the left mouse button. Just wait for that to come on. Once that's come on, we'll have to resize Bella because it'll be way too big. And you see the size of her. Alright, if you want to rescale a character like this, you need to do the diagonal corners, the corner nodes, use them to rescale them. If you want to resize the character, use the vertical ones here to stretch her out or make her smaller. You can do that way, but let's just go back on that to make her the right size it was. Whoops, I'll do it right, that's it. Now if you want to do the horizontals, that'll make her wider if you take it away from the character or thinner if you take it close to the character, but obviously it doesn't look right or anything like that, so let's undo that. Now if we scale it, we just do that, we can scale it that way and it'll still be in the right aspect, and we can drag her down by changing the cursor by going on the actual image itself and waiting for it to become this hand. Then you left click on it and drag it down to where you want, like so. I might just take it down a little bit more. There, that looks about right for the actual image I'm doing. So that's how you scale it and that's how you stretch the character or whatever you want to do with it. Okay, next we're going to go to the characters element on the timeline. Click on where it says idle because that's the actual action at the moment, so I'm just going to click on that and change the action to waving because I want to first action to be waving. Okay, I'm also going to change the scroll bar down here back to where it was because it's a bit too small at the moment, so I want to put that back to the middle where it comes up with 10 there. Okay, so there we got the wave on Bella, and let's just play that just so you can see it's waving. Yeah, right, so now what I want to do is I want to get a spotlight on her waving. So to do that, what we need to do is go back into the studio. So I need to click on this, click on there. Right, so I've clicked on that, and I need to go to the scroll bar here, left click on it and hold and drag down with your mouse, and at the lower end here you can see this like a white rounded rectangle with a hole in it. That is the spotlight. Right, so left click on that and drag it onto the canvas area, and the spotlight comes up like that. Now what we can do is stretch the wave to meet the size of the spotlight. If you wish, you can do that, that's fine. Right, now before I do anything else, I want to show you about the spotlight, what you can do with it. So it's got the nodes just the same as Bella has, so you can reduce the size of it by reducing scale like that, and scale it down that way as well, and then you can move it as you can move Bella. Same way, I might just scale that down a little bit more, move it about there. I want that. Yeah, right, that looks pretty good. But you can see there's things like the edges not, it's very sharp, the edges of the spotlight, so we can change that by using edge feather. I usually go for something like 25, that looks pretty good for an edge feather, but you can go to a different what's it, but 25 is what I like. Okay, but if you go across, you can see you can make it as soft or as hard as you want. Yeah, but I think 25 is pretty good, so I'm going to try and get back to that. It's hard to do it with a slider, then just put the number in. So I'll put the number in. There you go. Right, you got your opacity, which changes the opacity of the surrounding area, like so, as you can see. Right, so you can make it dark if you wish. 84 is what it usually comes up with, I think. About 84, isn't it? Like that. That's what it usually comes up with, about 84. And I mean, I prefer it somewhere around 75, to be honest. Let's just change it to 75. So you can see what else is there, but it spotlights the character, doesn't it? Yeah. As well as that, you can change the type of spotlight, whether it's a circle or a rectangle. And the rectangle will be useful for certain things. I'll show you that in a minute. You can change the colour of the surrounding area as well to a different colour, like so. If you wanted to do that, you could. And but dark is usually the best, like the dark black colour. But you can change it if you wish. So anyway, let's get back onto what I was doing. So back on settings. You got your properties, so let's go to the properties. You got your normal positions like the X position and the Y position of the spotlight. You can change that if you wish, you know, so you go 10 for example, that would take it across a bit more, and I'm just going to undo that so you can see that's what you can do if you wish to. Right, so let's just click back on the settings. It's not letting me get back on the settings now. Okay, we go back to properties. There you can scale it as well. You can make it bigger or smaller, and you got the opacity there, and you got a rotation, so you can rotate in if you wish. So let's rotate it from 45 degrees like that. Right, so there's the rotation it comes in, so you could have it like a diamond shape. As well as that, you've still got the circles with the dots in, which can round off the edges, so you can have it like that, so it looks a bit more rounded, you know, so you could do that if you wished. When it's the rectangle anyway, you can't do it with the circle, but you can only do it with the rectangle. So for example, you'd use that if say you wanted to use rotation, possibly. and you can change the anchor point as well of it. So let's get that back to where it was, the rotation and everything for that. So let's go to properties, rotation 0, and you got a flip. Now if you use a flip, what it does is it usually takes the edge feathering off, like so, and with the horizontal and the vertical, it takes the edge feathering off for some reason. I don't know why it does that. Right, you've also got track matte, which you can use to mask something, but I don't understand why you'd use that for that, really, for the spotlight. But there might be reasons for using it, which I'll have a look at in the future. Might be an advanced use. And you got tiles here, so you can tile it, which I'm going to use in the next part of this, so I won't show you that yet. Well, let's get back off the rectangle, right, and put it back to circle. Right, so now we've done that, so I've showed you all the settings. What you can do as well with the spotlight is you can use motions for it, so you could have it coming from the right in on the spotlight. So let's just show you that. Let's just make it slower first. Let's get to about 2 and a bit. Right, let's do. Right, now just play that, and as you can see, it comes across and there. That looks pretty good, but I don't want that, so I'll delete that. Anyway, right, so let's just do that. What else is there? I don't think there's anything else I can show you really, except from the tiles, which I wanted to show you in a minute. The anchor point, you can have the anchor point right to the corner down here, so it's down there, or you can move the anchor point if you want to a specific spot. However, if you put it to the end here, you could do an add animation of rotation, so you can rotate it in from a corner or something. So you get the rotation point to be, I don't know, somewhere like down over there, and then you bring it across a bit, make it take a little bit of time, and then let's play it in a minute. So it goes, dun, dun. There you go, something like that. You could do that if you wished. Right, so let's delete that animation and put the spotlight back to where it was. So I need to change the settings or properties back to rotation of 0. Okay, and there we go. Right, so that's all the settings and motion abilities that I've showed you, except for the tiles, which I'm going to show you in a minute. First of all, I want to just group this like so, and I'm going to rename that one to Bella 1 because it's Bella's first action. Right? That makes reasonable sense, I suppose. Bella 1. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to duplicate Bella 1, and I'm going to take that across a little bit, about there, and I'm going to rename it to Bella 2. And I'm going to change the action in a second, right? So we just double click in the group, and then we change the Bella action, wave, and change that to blow a kiss, and I'm going to drag it across so it meets the length of that, like so. And you can click on it and change the eye expression or face expression, just make it happy. Right, that's nice. So that's the second action. I'm just going to go back to my timeline here, left click, all left clicks anyway, but as you can see, the first action is waving, second action is blow a kiss. As you can see, did you see that little gap there where there's a bit of a split between them? I want to just do that, and then I'm going to, because of that sort of misalignment there, what I want to do is add a transition in, and the transition is going to be fade transition, so it looks okay then. It'll look okay then, hopefully. Anyway, let's just see. Hopefully that'll cover it, but we'll see. Yeah, it wasn't much, but I'll just pull it back a little bit so it ain't too much, and try that. Yeah, you barely see that. It's like a blink of an eye in it, really. Right, so next I want to take this one and I'm going to duplicate that. Take it across a little bit more, about the same, and do the same thing again on that end. Add another transition by, see where in between them you'll see a green line come. You click on that green line and it'll come up with the fades, or the transitions I should say, and then you just add the transition where you want to there. And it's just those transitions, not the other transitions. You can see there, look, see that difference. That's going to just mask that a bit. Right, and the last one, I'm going to eat an apple. I'm going to have her eating an apple on that one, so I need to change that name of that one. Rename Bella 3, like so, and I'm going to left click on it twice to get in and change the lowercase to eating an apple. Okay, and as you can see, that's gone too far over there, so you can bring it back in. And then because it stops there, I'm going to drag this across by left clicking and holding and dragging till it reaches there, and I can move that spotlight as well by left clicking that and dragging that across. Okay, then we go back to the main timeline. So we've got most of that done, so let's just play that for now and show you what's happening so far. Let's blow in the case, and that's eating an apple. What I might do is I might just take that in a bit like that, and let's just see if that one looks okay. Yeah, that one's okay. This one's okay, yeah, that'll be okay now. Now what I want to do with this one is I want to add a movement on this one, which is going to be, I'm going to change that properties of the middle one, the group, to tile. Right, so I'm going to add the tiles. I'm going to activate tiles on that one, and as you can see, it's quite good, that is, like that. So I can actually reduce that a lot if you want to. You can have it like that. And what I'm going to do as well with this one, I'm going to spin it round. So I'm going to add animation, rotation, right, and take it all the way around. So I'm just going to add rotation to that, and just go rotate around once, totally once. There you go, like that, and you'll see what happens then. So just take it back to the beginning, go like that, and go on there, and then there we go. Right, so that's the actual thing I did. I hope you like that. Right, so what I'm going to do now is at the end, I don't want to fade that last bit off. Right, so there, from there, I want to fade that bit off there at the end. So just fade out. I always press about 3 times before I can get it to work. And there, I want that fade out as well. Out, fade, fade out. And I'm going to drag that to about there as well. So actually it needs to be a bit more there. Fade it to there. That's pretty cool. Actually that needs to be, I'm just going to do that smaller, like that, and then I'm going to bring that across that way. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, that's fine. That's roughly about the same anyway. Yeah, cool. Right, so that's how you use the fade anyway, and the spotlight. You can do things with it like that. That's what I did to make that particular image and video. But I want to add other things to it, like the talking. So I'm going to add some speech to it now. The character, so Bella. Right, so I want to add talking for Bella. So let's go to audio, speech, AI, and I want to add hello, welcome to my show. I forgot to put hello and welcome to my show. Right, so we can say that first. Let me just change it to a female, young, American. Let's try Amber.
The biggest room in the world is room for
That
improvement.
doesn't sound like a young. You want a child if you can, but we ain't there. I don't think there's any.
If one is lucky, a solitary fantasy can totally transform 1 million realities.
Try Lily. Oh, that's middle-aged, young Laura.
Our distrust is very expensive.
We just try Laura. That'll be fine. Okay. We do Laura. Nice, and try that. Nice. Generate speech. Let's preview.
Hello, and welcome to my show.
Yeah, it sounds pretty reasonable. Import. I've imported it and it's there. Like, so what I need to do is just drag that on there. Right, so I've dragged it onto Bella 1, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sync with Bella like that, and once I've synced it with Bella, it'll come up.
Hello, and welcome to my show.
Okay, so there we go. That's that one. Back to timeline, and number 2. And number Bella 2, I'm just going to go into there, so double click on Bella 2, if it'll let me. It's not letting me at the moment, so I don't know why. Oh, it's clicking on the actual thingy, that's why. Okay, next I want to add another one, so I want Laura again, don't I? Female Laura. Right, so we're going to use the same character voice, and what we're going to say is I am going to I'm going to turn your world around with my magic trick. Right, so that's the next one. Generate speech.
I am going to
Preview.
turn your world around with my magic trick.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. And that's the right one, ain't it? I think so. I hope so. There you go. That should be okay. And let's just play it.
I am going to turn your world around with my magic trick.
Okay, I need to do that. And sync with Bella. Right, so let's try that. He does that, but he does.
I am going to turn your world around with my magic trick.
Yeah. I mean, really, you shouldn't do that with that, really, because it's been a blower kiss, but okay. I'll just do that anyway. I ain't going to worry about it. Right, so go back on the main timeline. And then what I could do is Bella Free. Click on there. I'm going to make this apple disappear as an example of a bit of a joke. Okay, we could do that and then change it to Laura again and just generate the speech on that one.
I'm
Preview.
going to make this apple disappear.
Okay, that's fine. And do that one. That should be right. And just lip sync and just take it back that way a bit and just try that.
I'm going to make this apple disappear.
Okay, so that would work. So let's just do that. And then what we could do is add some music. So go to music, happy music. So we've got something nice. I'll do. Let's add that. Right, in a minute. Let's go back to the beginning first. Add Yippee. That will not do. So we add that one. Okay. And what we need to do is where it goes to the end. That's the end there. Just gonna cut that off and right click and delete. I've deleted that bit. Now also I want to knock the volume down to about 20%, maybe even less than that, maybe 15. I'll do 15 actually, or thereabouts. 15 should be right. Okay, now let's just start from the beginning and play it.
Hello, and welcome to my show. I am going to turn your world around with my magic trick. I'm going to make this apple disappear.
I didn't, but no, but that's the sort of thing you could do. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know I did making it, and it did take me a while, but you know, it was fun, and that's part of what it's all about: having fun, enjoying yourself, creating something which is light-hearted and generally enjoyable for other people as well. So if you can do that, then that's the magic that counts, really. So I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial anyway, and I hope you have a great day and really enjoy creating. Thank you.